What's up, guys? Low here, EM3 Strength and Conditioning, on my way to work. And today I'm gonna break EM3 down. I'm gonna break it down like James Brown in the middle of a song. You know what I mean? Like he always took the band down to the hi-hat, right? That's how I'm gonna break EM3 down. So this is how it goes. Most people ask me, what does EM3 stand for? Very, very simple. My youngest daughter, her name is Emery. I have 3 daughters. EM3, strength and conditioning. Now, before I get to the strength and conditioning, before EM3 was a fitness gym training facility, it was a recording studio. It was EM3 Studios. It was, hold on. It was SA/MI Studios under EM3 Productions. SA, Sabrina, she's my oldest, /MI, Michaela, my middle daughter, Studios, EM3. I got all my girlies all wrapped up in an awesome little name. All right, now, that didn't work out, and I kept the tax ID number. I changed EM3 to EM3 Strength and Conditioning. Now, what is strength and conditioning, right? EM3, Emery, my 3 daughters. Strength and conditioning. What is strength and conditioning? I like to label it as strength and conditioning is what gives the athlete his or her athletic ability, not the skill of the game. So, I cannot teach a basketball player how to play the game, but I can make sure he can jump, run, he can juke side to side, he can cover his man, I can make sure he's strong, healthy, capable of doing everything that individual needs to do for his game. That's the thing about strength and conditioning. It's very specific depending on what you're doing. So strength and conditioning for a basketball player is a little different than strength and conditioning for a football player. Break football down. Strength and conditioning for a lineman is different than strength and conditioning for a wide receiver or quarterback. There are similarities. You want them to be strong. You want them to be able to pick up and move certain amounts of weight. But especially in football, which is what makes football pretty cool, I think, is that every person on that team trains slightly differently in order to do their job properly. All right, that's why you don't see many quarterbacks at 300 XYZ pounds. They need to be agile. They need to be able to move. All right, their focus is a little more spread out. They need to see the whole field and make snap decisions, as opposed to some of the linemen. They have one job, and that's just to do it, whatever it is along the line. All right. Now, as far as strength and conditioning in life, well, that's the game I train people for, the game of life. All right, which is the most extreme game there is, because you have to do so many different things, and the game never ends until it ends. All right, so when we train, we always keep life in mind. Because again, when you're younger and stuff, it doesn't matter. It matters, but to the individual, it doesn't matter. You can run, you can jump if you choose to do so. It's easier for you to be in shape. It's easier for you to do this stuff. It's easier to get into it, but it's just as easy to fall out. That doesn't matter what age you're at. It's easy to fall out. All right. Now, let's build upon that. EM3, you know where that came from. Strength and conditioning, you know what it means. You know how we apply it here at EM3. Now, How does that stuff begin to change your life? All right, so this month's GLP, we're talking about those meds and peptides and stuff. So let's say you decide to, you know what? Or maybe the doctor convinced you, be like, look, you need to lose weight and this and that. Or, okay, you know what, doc? Fine. Insurance says they'll cover it. Great, fine. So you start taking your meds, right? You start getting your shot, whatever it is. And then you start to feel the effects of it. You know what I'm saying? Not the good effects, but the bad effects, meaning, you start to feel nauseous and stuff like that. But you also start to see the weight come off. Great, that's awesome. So you go back to your doctor and say, hey doc, I'm feeling nauseous, and my energy, this and that. He said, all right, well, what you need to do is you got to eat right, focus on lean meat and fiber, ease up on the carbs, yada, yada, yada. No greasy foods, no fried foods, nothing, right? And you say, oh man, no fried chicken. Oh man, no wings, no nothing. No. At least not fried. Okay. So then you sit there and you're like, all right, I'm going to eat better so I can feel better. That's a decision you made. Perfect. Now, here you made two good decisions for yourself. One, to start taking medication so you can lose weight. Two, you felt the effects. Now you're actually thinking about what you're doing, and you go back to the doctor and say, hey, XYZ. And then he goes, okay, cool, ABC. And you're like, wah, 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 boo hoo hoo. There goes my pen, runaway pen. Right? But you go home and you do it anyway. So you start going through your cupboard and your pantry, and you start saying, oh, I can't eat this and I can't eat that. So I'm trying to get into my spot. I can't eat this, I can't eat that. And maybe you start even to get a little depressed about it. Because, you love that chicken so much. You all like them fries, right? Because you like all that stuff. We all do. And if you say you don't, you lie. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, so you made a conscious decision to take meds. You made a conscious decision to go to the doctor and talk about what you're feeling. And you made a conscious decision to follow the doctor's orders and start changing your diet. Boom. Now, what happens? You start losing that weight, but you also feel good. So now you're starting to feel good while losing weight about the weight you're losing and how you're losing it. Cool. You haven't even begun exercising yet. So then you say to yourself, you know what, well, I like the way I'm feeling. I'm losing some weight, but, I want to do more. Boom. So you start going to the gym, or you start coming here to EM3 Strength and Conditioning. This is how your life changes. You make a decision, and then after that, it triggers your mind to think differently, because now you have a goal that you set for yourself. Not that someone else was like, oh, hey, Jill, nice to see you. It's not that someone else forced you to do it. It's someone that showed you that, hey, you should do this. And, usually when the doctor says it, people tend to do it. When friends say it, they never tend to do it. But you make a decision. It triggers something positive in you. And you built on the result of that decision made. So, break it down. You want to lose weight. The doctor says you should lose weight. The doctor says get on meds. You say, okay. You get on meds. You feel a certain way. So you talk to your doctor again. That's three decisions you've already made. For your better good on your own. You go back. He says, do this, do that. And you go and do it. Bam. 4 decisions. After that, all the decisions you just start to make start to pile up on top of each other, depending on the result you got before. It's no different with anything else. I want to smoke some pot. Ah, oh, that was good. Oh, I'm so high. Ah, bang. Cool, man, I like that shit, but I want something stronger. Word. There's some powdery shit. It's called cocaine. Let's get in there. Wow. Oh, man, that's good. Ah, right? Hey, let's start putting shit in my arm. No doubt. Boom, boom, boom. You see what I'm saying? Your decisions start to compound. And depending on the results of those decisions depends on which way you go down the road. You see how I'm doing that? All right? Same thing goes with your health and fitness. Once you make a decision and you get a positive outcome, it becomes a feedback loop. Because then you start to say, man, if I can do that, then I'll try this. And then you do this. And then after doing that and this, you go for it. And then you decide, and then you see that you can do it. So then you keep going, and you keep going, and you keep going. And when you start to trigger that kind of thought in yourself because of yourself, not because of an outside force, but because of yourself, God damn it, man, I'm telling you, you can do whatever it is. Whatever it is, you put your mind to it. Yeah, and I know that sounds so garbage. Oh, everybody says that. All you gotta do is put your fucking mind to it. You can do whatever you want, man. I swear to God, it's fucking true. Issue is this. It's not gonna come out the way you think it's gonna come out. All right? It's not. Never does. And thank God, because we're all fuck-ups. Feel me? So you don't want it to come out the way you want it to come out. Because if you do, then it's wrong. It's wrong. It's going to come out the way it's going to come out. All right? But you got to trust the process. Progress, not perfection. Perfection is stupid and boring. It's in the progress. Ah, damn it. Here's Carol. Ugh. Anyway. I just wanted to break that down a little bit. Where EM3 came from, how it came to be, and how little decisions, positive decisions, can lead to much, much bigger things. You just got to give it time. It's like cooking. You got to give it time. All right? EM3 strength and conditioning. I'm going to let it go right there, guys. Please build upon the positive decisions you make based on the positive result. If you make a decision, you get a negative result, don't say, I'm going to try that again. No. You're going to may try it again, but try it a little differently. Not exactly the same way. It's stupid. All right? Definition of insanity. So, GLP meds, again, remember, if you start taking the GLP meds, you've made a good decision. Don't stay there. Keep going. Push the envelope. And we shall overcome. EM3, strength and conditioning. We'll see you, I don't know, I'm sure you'll see me later on in the day. All right, get it in. Let's get to work. Positivity starts in here. It does.